Welcome back to the No Judgment Necessary podcast, where we got the opinions like DC, we're crazy like Gaethje, and we're as high as O'Malley. We're the podcast for fight fans that want to see fists fly and don't want to wait on the judges. I'm your host, Brick, and as always, my cornerman, Nil, and Matty P. What's going on, boys? Big week, big card.
Huge card tomorrow. I can't wait.
A little bit of, disappointment. I don't know. Sting taken out of it. I don't know what.
So UFC,
trying to find the words.
UFC 274 going down tomorrow, live from the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. Supposed to be headlined, well, still is headlined by Charles Oliveira against Justin Gaethje. Was supposed to be for the lightweight championship of the world. Charles Oliveira, the reigning defending champion, misses weight by 0.5 of a pound. Is now stripped of the title. It's vacant. Only Justin Gaethje can win. Chaos has ensued, and that's why we're here to clean up the mess and talk about it. What are our thoughts on the fact that all this shit happens?
I mean, yeah, the belt's not on the line, but we all know either way, if Charlie always wins, his next fight's for the belt, and we'll always look at it as not a championship fight, but still we'll know like it was pretty much for the belt. And then Justin wins, bam, he's the champ, and there's no stopping that. So it's not really the worst thing.
Yeah, it's one of those that feels like a bigger deal, but it's actually not that big a deal. Like in the grand scheme of things,
exactly.
It's more.
So why make it a big deal by stripping him?
Yeah,
what's the point in all that? It seems like
two things I gotta say.
I think stripping him has to do with money too. Like you just lost hell of money. He probably lost a ton of money.
Oh yeah, like a champ's bonus kind of thing.
All that shit.
First off, if I'm half a pound off, and I'm not one of those guys who's just like, bro, like go lose another half pound. He probably lost 25 in the last 48 hours. But if there's a single hair on this dude's body, I would shave everything.
What's that going to do? How much weight? A guy got a high fade. How much is that really going? Is that going to change anything?
Hopefully, it's 0.2, and they
know what I mean.
It off.
Like I love the idea. It'd only matter if it was someone like Pete. Someone got like long ass hair. Somebody with dreads, like some heavier.
That's fair.
Otherwise, I just don't think it'll add up.
That was kind of more of my joking take, but in my real take,
all right,
this is not my NBA. This is not David Stern's NBA. Because if we had a real fucking commissioner in this league, he would have elbowed that official, thrown that fucking scale in the dumpster, and said, "Yep, 156. Let's have a fucking title fight." Like, what the fuck are we doing? I mean, I get it. And honestly, the only thing I have really a problem with the idea of missing weight and the whole thing with the title is that you are you're the lightweight champ. Like you're a 155-pound champ. You're giving a pound, but like you hold that pound title, so you need to be that weight. Like that's just the fact of the matter.
But why don't we practice that on the come up? So why can I miss this pound and the fight would be okay if I'm not even fucking ranked? But the champ.
Because no one gives a shit. Let's get the fights off. We're not trying to ruin people's whole careers and paychecks and every bullshit over a pound when it's two unranked guys who are trying to figure out if they even belong. Moving along.
I guess that's fair, but
it just seems
wild though.
56 pounds. That's what you got.
You know what? To be honest.
You keep saying 156.
Oliveira had to lose his belt, and he still got the disadvantage because he had to cut for an extra fucking hour, hella toughly.
After already cutting all that, how hard it is to then recut.
But he's honestly was already worse off than Gaethje. Gaethje's been recovered by then. So
all these rumors
for something that didn't even really help.
All these rumors of the digital scale in the back was 0.5 of a pound heavier than the manual scale in the front. If these rumors are true, that's a fat issue for the sport, not just Charles Oliveira. If it's not true, then this is just some horse shit. But to me, that's like a glaring red flag here. Like, we can't be having scales with different weights if people need to make a specific weight to get paid at the level they're supposed to. Like,
that's something I've actually noticed. Like, when you always see like the embeddeds or the kind of backroom stuff, they're always getting on a digital like home scale. But when I don't know, that would just be like a competitive thing for me. If I'm gonna weigh in on like manual scale, we bring in a manual scale with me. So especially if I'm a champion, I get it for like the guys on the come up. They're just trying to
I'm gonna bring 2 scales to make sure.
This is what it is right now, from what I understand. There's like a digital scale that the UFC will provide that tracks like water and other shit, and that they're like big. Gotcha. They got a partner on. Everyone fucking gets one on fight week, and they don't think twice because they're like, yeah, whatever. UFC gave me a nasty scale. Step on it, you're on weight, move on. So I see where the hookup is, or the hitch is there. But I'm totally with you on this take. I would almost bring my own scale at this point. I'd have my own doctor, for fuck's sake. I'd have my own guy out there balancing it everywhere I went.
I'd also just make weight. But I am kind of sick of this whole like what pisses me off about the whole like half pound thing is like, yeah, you got to make weight. But at the end of the day, the 2 guys we're going to see fight tomorrow, we're going to weigh like 180 pounds and 178 pounds. So why did we care about a half pound on Friday when they're not fighting?
That's kind of where I'm at. And doesn't it put a stain on the card? Like, it's not even really for the belt. Like, only one guy can win it. It's just, I don't see the point. I get the professionalism side of it, but isn't this something you kind of like sweep under the rug?
Or why not weigh in it on Wednesday or some shit and give them a whole like 2 or 3 days to recover?
Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, at that point, they're just going to put 35 pounds back on, and it's just like.
But they're still already going to, so.
People will just wait till Wednesday to cut, and we'll just miss on Wednesday, and we'll have mad like 3-day notice fights.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing with weight cutting is I've listened to like people talk about it, and I've tried to like deep dive on best ways for weight cutting. No matter how you make a weight cut or how you space it out, so like, oh, we'll have them weigh this amount by this fight day. People will just push it to the last limit and the last fucking day and the last
at
leg.
This point,
it's so stupid that like he has to weigh 155 at 10 a.m. on fucking Friday morning, and like that's it. Like it's just lunacy, but
right.
Something's got to get changed, but it's so hard.
I just feel like it has to be somewhere along the lines of like, and this sounds almost like intrusive, but if you're an athlete within this promotion, like year-round, like fight weight or so, and it's like it should be some sort of range, and like you have to stay within this. But then you have people like Patty the Batty who fight at 145, and he's like 275 right now.
He looks like Chris Griffin.
He does look like Chris Griffin. He's literally my hero. Like anyone that can fight at 145 and then just get certified.
Weight classes are fucked right now.
I know the second he loses, he's gonna be like, "I'm taking this seriously now. Can't do this, blah blah blah," and he's gonna just like be able to fit from then on. He can't do this forever.
Probably not, but
Eddie Alvarez called on a podcast some odd months ago that the only person who Charles Oliveira would lose to is the scale. He's like, this guy's too heavy for 55. He's gonna lose his title to the scale, not an opponent. Crazy, it fucking came true. So wild take on that front. Not something I would have had for my hot takes going into 2022.
Yeah, I kind of always like
that like the champ would lose the belt to the scale.
That he was just like really big for that division, but he's kind of got that lanky, wiry body, almost like Dan Hooker. That it's just like I don't know. I don't really understand how any of these guys make these weights. So when you see a bigger guy like that, and so far so good, he's made weight. You know, he hasn't had too many issues leading up to this, but yeah, I'm curious to see what he would be like at 170. Obviously, he could fight there, but
I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be a problem.
That's
But
the fight that Usman should be calling out for.
I think this is just opening the door for Conor McGregor to fucking waltz right back into a title shot. Like that's what this shit smells like. And
I'm
I
not
hate to
gonna
say
lie,
it, bro.
it could
My
never
man's
happen.
just gonna strut right the fuck in, swagging with the shoulders and everything. What's
I don't
up?
think
The
we're
Mac
gonna
G's
see
back.
Conor this year.
What? He's gonna fight in like July, fam. And this shit ain't gonna be settled. Oliveira's gonna win. It's still gonna be vacant. He's gonna fight Usman. Fucking in steps McGregor. Dude,
Nah,
it's
that's
so
what's gonna
happening,
happen.
bro. It's not even like, and I don't even want it to happen.
No, it's gonna happen.
I'm just telling you, it's gonna happen.
Gaethje's gonna walk out, and then we're gonna be ready for Olives to come out, and McGregor's music's gonna drop, WWE style, and he's just gonna walk out.
We're gonna have a triple threat match.
Yeah, why not?
If it's between Islam and McGregor, I could see McGregor getting the shot.
I can see that as well. Facts.
Mhm.
Fucking sometime in July, the biggest fight card in July. Bam. McGregor fucking Islam. Run it back. Like, definitely. And Oliveira's going to move up. Gaethje's going to fight fucking Chandler again. Like,
Oh, but doesn't McGregor only want to fight 170?
yeah, maybe he'll fight him at 170 for the 155 championship. Fuck it.
Right. Do you really prefer to see Khamzat and Diaz?
All right, well, let's get into that. I was just about to bring that up. So somebody leaked a photo of a July card coming up. What were some of the bouts on there?
Anthony Smith and what's the dude's name? The Russian dude.
Ankalaev?
Ankalaev. Anthony Smith and Ankalaev.
Yep.
Khamzat and Nate Diaz.
John Jones Stipe, Izzy Cannonier.
Then there's Max Volk.
Mm-hmm. That also got announced.
I mean, July's close enough
Volkanovski,
that I believe it, but there still is a part of me that kind of thinks that like that was a target list. Like I don't think those are all like signed. I mean, they might be.
They sent that out like on purpose as like pressure to build the fight.
No, not
Or
even
make
that.
it?
But like,
Maybe.
this is how we'd like to build the card. Like,
Well,
this is
Anthony
what we're
Smith said
targeting.
this was true.
Someone confirmed it.
Brett Okamoto and like Big Marcel started confirming some of the fights, but not all of them.
Okay.
Some of the lower ones got like confirmed.
That's
for
what
sure.
I'm saying. I was like,
The top ones are probably they're not. There's probably a
that's
black
the thing.
dot.
There's
like,
too
not signed.
much. There's
They
too
just
much
keep
movement.
trying to do Nate dirty with Khamzat.
Yeah, we don't need to see that shit. To be
Why?
fair.
You don't want Khamzat to get his first loss?
Yeah.
Well, how many rounds are they going to give Nate Diaz? Because he's just going to run out of time. They only give him 3 rounds.
Well, that's kind of how I feel with Max Holloway getting a
Seven.
third shot against Volkanovski. He could be the first guy to lose a title to the same dude 3 times. That's fucking bloody embarrassing if it happens.
That'd be crazy.
But he didn't really lose the second one.
Oh
yes,
my
he did.
God.
He's been over this.
All right,
No.
well, whatever.
He's been over this.
A lot of people thought, and on the verdict where they vote who won the whole thing throughout the world, more people said Max.
You can suck my verdict.
Yo, Volkanovski a problem. He about to fucking piece up Holloway.
That one
That
scares
fight's
me a
gonna
little.
scare me too. That fight scares me. Khamzat Nate scares me. I don't really want that.
No, I don't.
The fight will be good.
Ultimate Fighter's
Press
back.
will be good.
I know, like, not trying to bring spoilers, but like, pretty cool. I will say quickly though, for first episode, little bit less of some BS, little bit more straight to the point, kind of like that bit.
Yeah.
Little less touch button the park, COVID testing, fucking random, just like useless TV. Like, I feel like there was less of that. So I don't want to give away spoilers. I know Matty P hasn't really watched it. So yeah, it just overall, I liked it. And we'll be back next week to kind of recap some little more. But that's kind of what I got on the Ultimate Fighter.
Definitely. It's at least an interesting series or season going in with just like the dynamic of Nunez Pena. Because have they done anyone who like? I mean, just have they done anyone who had fought before?
Probably.
Yeah,
They
but
had to.
like this, and nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Where it was like a massive.
It was usually
upset.
leading up to the
nothing like
fight,
this.
not like after it.
That's what I'm saying. It was usually like, okay, we've been having something that's been building, and then boom, we're gonna do the fight. But like they've already fight. It was a massive upset. Like, and it is kind of weird. Like, again, not gonna really give away any spoilers, but just like the mentalities and kind of the confidence of the two coaches. That's all I'll say.
Ooh, I know where that's going.
All right, so what else we got out here?
Anything else in MMA news? Anything else happen?
Do I have a newcomer? I feel like I had a newcomer recently.
Is Masvidal going to jail?
I hope not.
Okay. Suns are down 7 at half. Honestly, they played like shit, so
Not bad.
being only down 7, I'm fine with that. That's one run in the third quarter, and then Book and CP3 will take over. But little live reaction on the Suns there. Well, Neil looks up his newcomer or whatever.
I got you.
You got it?
Yeah.
The fights on there was Sean O'Malley and Pedro Munoz.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep. And he was like, Prelim Pedro, where you at? Hit me up. Let me know. That's just funny as shit.
That is hilarious. That's going to be a banger.
That's the first real big step up.
Yeah.
Like top 10 fighter where you're like, okay, this is for sure well tested.
And also just the matchup style. Like, that's going to be someone who's actually going to come into Sean's kitchen. And Sean can clearly strike, and, you know, he's got good movement, but Munoz is a fucking fireball. What do you got now?
Yeah, I got a newcomer this week. We're going with this guy, Dejate Milan. He is from the Ivory Coast. My man's got an 8-1 record. He's currently coming in off a loss in Cage Warriors. It's the first of his career, but it was an absolute 3-round war. I've seen a lot of the highlights on it. This guy's just like super athletic, and you know that like lutte, like it's like that Senegalese wrestling that we saw from a lot of fighters that won championship, and Brugge specifically. Yeah, he kind of comes from that, but he's definitely got more hands and hand speed, so he makes for just chaos and fights. A lot of like scrambling and just mixes. He mixes up MMA really nicely, and chaos at all times. He's got a lot of finishes on his record, so I'd like to see him like maybe get a shot at Contender Series. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got. And just wanted to like shout out more lutte fighters and African MMA and that kind of shit. So,
Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, River, you know, obviously didn't have the hottest start to his career. He's doing decent in one championship, but just that style does seem like there is some sort of like dominant wrestling. It's almost like a mix between wrestling and Muay Thai. Kind of the hip tosses and the, you know, upper body grabs and everything. So I think, especially like you're saying,
it's very much a sport I don't understand. It makes absolutely no sense. Guys get slapped in the face, but also like judo hip toss to the sand, and also tackled like a middle linebacker. So I don't know what's going on, but it certainly translates into MMA. Just the fact that you have to watch out for so many different aspects. It certainly it is translating. We're kind of seeing that they're a little weaker on the feet. I wonder why that is. Is it because they're used to fighting or whatever on sand? Is it because they're just ground guys? I don't know. Right. But it seems like as the fight goes on, these guys, their hands can't stay up to the level that the wrestling can. And it shows to be a big problem in almost every fight. But I want to see someone get on the big scale and let's really test it.
Right.
Is these just bumps in the road, or is this just the style is not really what it is?
And I mean, as we've seen from other styles of wrestling, whether it's American or, you know, Russian or whatnot, like you can learn hands later in your career. So if some of these guys can, come in with that base and then get in a proper, MMA camp and sharpen up those hand skills, it could be definitely dangerous.
And this guy's a middleweight. We need new blood at middleweight. Like good division, sure, but we need a new prospect.
Definitely. All right, and before we get into the card, we got to give our presenting sponsor a shout out. No Judging Necessary is presented by Acosta Clothing, the hottest streetwear and high fashion brand coming out of the Bay Area, California. They specialize in a range of quality backpacks and accessories. Acosta Clothing has been worn by some of the top MMA fighters, such as Tom Cruise, me, Akeem Dawodu, and our boy, Ray Waters. You can find them at AcostaClothing.com or on Instagram at Acosta Clothing. Well, let's get into it now. UFC 274.
He said UFC 274. This is funny because I'm about to take a fat pivot. Let's talk a fight. We got a scrap. This is going to be the first one of the night. We got Canelo Alvarez taking on Dimitri Bivol. We got a boxing match. What are our thoughts? We got to talk it, right? I mean, come on. It just came to me right now, but shit. No? We got nothing out here?
I'm just trying to think of what round Canelo's going to win in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I want to take the Barstool exclusive. I think it's the first 8 rounds. And I think it's plus 800. So, I don't know. It scares me just the fact of a tough Russian might be able to stick around. But, dude, this version of Canelo, you got those extra whatever it is. It's only 6 pounds, but he looks fucking massive. This light heavyweight or whatever they're calling it, Canelo.
He's going to be so fast for them up there.
He's huge.
Yeah, it's for the WBA World Light Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Canelo's the challenger. Shit. So this guy's the champ.
He's stepping up.
Yep. He's a plus 400 dog. Guy's 19-0. Yeah, I mean, I do think it's just a matter of what rounds he's going to. That's a great question. Let's see. It says the Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern pay-per-view starting on DAZN.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like Canelo always fights on a fat UFC pay-per-view night?
Because it's always around Cinco de Mayo.
But regardless, don't matter. He fights in October. It's Khabib Gaethje, same night.
Right.
What are we doing? Someone signed him to the UFC and just let him box there. What the fuck?
Right.
Make this the fucking main event. Shit would do numbers, bro.
Right. That would actually be sick. And boxing and UFC would never do it. But boxing is a semi-dying sport. And when they put together a card, only thing that anyone cares about is the last fight. So just make it the main event of a UFC card. Because everyone would watch all the rest of the UFC fights.
All right, but yeah, let's get into 274 though.
Let's do it.
What's our first fight? Someone announce it.
First fight, we got Journey Newsom, 9-3 out of the U.S., taking on Fernie Garcia, 10-1 out of Mexico. Battle as old as time.
Are you serious right now?
I'm very
I
serious.
got Garcia all day.
Journey Newsom against Fernie Garcia. These sound like two singers in 80s grunge bands. And I can't not see it. Yo, Journey Newsom, fire album.
Yeah. And Fernie Garcia, I think, played backup for Santana in 83.
I just watched him square up, and that's why I think he's gonna win.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I really have nothing on Journey Newsom. He got knocked
Mexico,
out
bro.
by Randy Costa real quick. I don't think he's anything, and I'll take a tough night.
Is it just me? But in the fight game, if your name's Journey, I'm just well, that didn't work well.
No.
Am I the only one with that take?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't trust him. I definitely don't
So
trust
no,
this jury.
I'm not the only one with this take.
Minus 152 for Fernie Garcia. I think don't overthink it. Take
I
the
think
slight
that's a
favorite.
smart bet, to be honest. I mean, depending on how hard or easy the rest of this card is, that may be one I go heavy on at the beginning.
I can see that. Kind of see how the night's going to go. Big single bets start the night, and then we'll assess the situation from there.
Well, you may have to assess the situation a little bit further when the next fight is Lupita Gudinez, 7-2 out of Mexico, taking on Ariane Carnelosi, 14-2 out of Brazil. This in the female 115 division. We got thoughts on this fight or what?
I think this is actually a really exciting matchup. I like both of these women, and I think this is one of those matchups that, especially in the women's division, sometimes we don't get these where they'll match up two rising prospects at the beginnings of their career. Because I feel like sometimes they don't want to ruin the prospect or anything. It's like, no, like let's see them scrap, and if they're legit, if they're both legit, it'll show in the fight.
Yeah,
You know?
or it may be a Leon Edwards Usman situation where they both
Correct.
like, and then at the very
Exactly. And then years
Yeah.
later, eight
Yeah,
fights
hasn't
later.
lost since.
Exactly. So I think that's a great matchup versus like throwing one of these girls like a old vet that's fucking 10-10, and we're like, oh, what's that 10-10 versus 7-2? But I don't know. I slept on Godinez against Loma, and that was an impressive performance. She completely controlled that fight. Carnelosi's no joke, though. I'd probably lean Lupita,
What are
but
the
this
odds
is
say?
definitely not one that I'm as confident in. The odds on this one,
I kind of feel like this is going to be weirdly like one of those fights of like whoever is who like either girl gets a takedown, they're going to be like in the driver's seat. Like whoever's on top is like clearly dominating.
right?
And it's just going to be a matter of who can stay
Who can
in
do
the
that
top
more
position.
often.
Correct.
Almost.
I feel like it's almost going to be like a Whaley versus Thug Rose. When Whaley got her down, it was, yeah, she had her, but not much, kind of mid. And then when Rose took her down, it was like, oh shit, she really controlled it. More time, more damage. And I feel like it's going to be something weird where it's like they both had like 4.5 minutes of control time, but who's really mattered? And like, it's going to be something weird like that.
For sure. Lupita's coming in at minus 195 favorite. Carnelosi's a plus 154. So it's a
Really?
little juicier than
With
I
about
thought
half
I'd
the
like it,
experience,
Lupita.
she's the favorite.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
But-
shocked on that.
but-
no?
As far as like UFC experience goes, they're pretty similar. I know obviously cage time's cage time, but
Right. But no, I just figure at this point we've done this so long. I just figured Vegas would lean the other way. That's all.
yeah.
I mean, I guess the level of competition, Loma over either one of Vasily Nunes or
Right.
Nalian.
I mean, it was kind of weird that her
Perfect
first
strike.
fight was against Angela Hill. That's a tough debut, and there was a doctor stoppage in the third round that totally lost in the UFC. But
Yeah, that's a definitely first tough fight in the fucking UFC.
yeah, that's a tough way to come into the UFC. And then she's done the business since then, but she hasn't had that real like test again. And I think Lupita is going to be one of those tests. So I think, and also let's play the numbers game here. 8-2 and 14-3 sounds right.
Yeah.
Next fight.
All right, next fight. We got Clayton Rodriguez, 7-1 out of Brazil, taking on CJ Vergara, 9-3-1 out of the USA. This is a men's flyweight fight. I got to be honest, I kind of almost said CJ Viagra, and for that, I don't really want to pick him in this fight.
That's kind of funny because I was going to say it almost sounds like a drunk guy saying Sofia Vergara.
I actually
I
saw,
CJ Vergara.
I saw this. I'm going
Wow.
all off the square ups this time. So this one I liked Rodriguez when they squared up.
Well, Rodriguez is a big favorite. He's like minus 350 something. So,
Then I'm right. So that's a good sign.
Minus 335. So scares me because that seems like a favorite that's going to be in a lot of parlays, and for a guy with only 8 fights.
I just remember this.
Yeah, he's coming off a unanimous decision on Contender Series. I feel like this guy, Clayton Rodriguez, is getting a shitload of hype. Like, at least regard fuck Odie Osborne in the league. Like, I know it's not like whoa, but like you know, it's at least something there.
Yeah.
And this cat coming in at minus 355.
That's
This
a big
seems like
juice to pay off the Contender Series. But I will say,
Yeah.
a lot of the guys that we call, cap on the Contender Series are the 20-second knockout guys. This
Right.
guy at least went the full 15, proved that he was, worthy. So I can see a little bit more in that in favoring him, but man, I don't know if I want
I don't want to touch
pay
that fight.
that kind of juice on a UFC debut. Especially like a weird thing, nothing against the Contender Series, but like if you're coming in that big of a favorite, you don't go to the Contender Series. You're Patty, you're Kamzat, you're someone with height that's coming in as a massive favorite. But I don't know. Next fight?
Next fight, we got Tracy Cortez, 9-1, out of USA, taking on Melissa Gatto, 8-0-2, out of Brazil. This is a female flyweight fight. What the hell are we thinking?
This one's interesting. I think Tracy Cortez might be the best prospect in this division. I think she's a top 5 fighter just in the waiting.
Yeah, I think she's gonna out wrestle her and wrestle out a decision basically.
Yeah.
My thought of it.
Yeah, Gatto's tough, and I don't think she's just gonna accept that possession by any means. Like she's gonna have to work for it. I think it's gonna be a full 15. I like this fight to go decision.
Okay.
Fight to go decision minus 190. You don't even have to pay that much juice for it. I really think that is it because both these women are tough. I don't think Gatto's gonna get finished on the ground, but I think Cortez is eventually gonna have to take it there, kind of like you were saying. So I do like it to go 15.
I like Melissa Gatto in this fight for the weirdest reason of all time.
What do you got?
Matty P always talks about MMA stories never working out and love stories don't work. And Brian Ortega just lost. So now Tracy Cortez is going to lose. And 9-2 and 9-0-2, I mean, they're pretty much the same shit. Like, sign me up. Like, I don't know. 8-1-2, I just can't see 8-1-2. It's like a fucking area code.
We're not gonna fucking be able to see anything with Melissa Gatto's record.
Yeah, that's
for
so
a long
true.
time. 2 draws, we've brought it up before, but 2 draws this early in her career just looks wrong.
Yeah, and she needs a 1 in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
at this point,
I'm not buying
like
this love story.
I
Somehow,
don't like
some
calling
way,
her
right.
undefeated.
If they were on the same card, I would agree. But since they're not, it's like
Definitely. I think she's going to be in that pissed off girlfriend mode of my man's just lost. I'm going to beat her ass.
I don't know. I'm just picking against it.
I don't hate it. Well, you're getting plus 124 on Gatto and minus 155 on Tracy Cortez. Next fight,
we got Francisco Trinaldo, 27-8 out of Brazil, taking on Danny Roberts, 18-5 out of the UK. This is the men's welterweight division. Fellas, we got opening bell thoughts.
I think I know exactly how this fight's gonna go.
All right, spit it.
Hell.
I think first round, Danny's gonna do something hella slick and really damn near knock Trinaldo out. Trinaldo's gonna come back. It's gonna be a wild ass first round, and then he's gonna win in the second round. Trinaldo somehow in some crazy ass fight. Damn near fight of the night.
Damn. I could see that.
That smells like a Danny Roberts
I
fight.
could definitely see that. What
And a Trinaldo fight.
What I'm hoping for, what I'm purely hoping for, and I don't know if it's going to happen, is that I really hope that Danny Roberts gets that first round knockout, gets a really exciting knockout because
Oh, God.
I just don't have much left for Trinaldo. for
No,
obvious
and he
reasons.
keeps ruining that. So
I
that's
know, and he's probably lost me before on this. But more than anything, I want to see Danny Roberts get a big fight on that upcoming. Is it June or July? London card?
July card. Yeah,
So
that'd be
that's
sick.
just like for pure like storylines and like
that just gets submitted in like the second or third.
oh for sure. No,
Bro, his loss to armbar against Claudio Silva was absolute bullshit, bro. That was that one don't count. He was screaming. I was literally 10 feet from the cage at this fight. His corner said, "Are you good?" And he screams, I'm out of the armbar. And the ref steps in. He tapped verbal submission. It was the worst call ever. It's so bad. He lost to Claudio Silva. But I do think he is vulnerable to getting submitted in the second round. The fact that Matty P said that, it's like I can't not see it now. Like I just picture him leaned up against the cage like this, like fuck. I just got subbed in the second. Like god damn it. Like
That for Roberts is just gonna like sleep him in the first
spark
round.
him 100%.
I might bet.
See, this is one of these fights where like, is this an exciting fight? Yes, I would hammer that this is an exciting fight.
Fight not to go the distance, plus 120.
I kind of like that
I
because
love
that's just chaos like we're asking for.
Right,
But
something's gonna happen. The only thing that worries me about
third round
that
gassed
is-
out like
Yeah.
ugh.
That's kind of what scares me. It's like Danny
Right.
Roberts empties the gas tank first round. Trinaldo just lays on top of him.
Has Trinaldo fought in a while? I feel like both of these guys are coming off like a solid break. At least both like, all right. So like 8 months for Trinaldo, maybe like a year for Roberts. Yeah, decent amount of time.
Right.
I don't know. Will that factor in?
It could.
How old is Trinaldo?
like 43.
He's 43, dude. No way. This guy off the roids. You don't look like this at 43 as a normal human being. You just don't.
I just also like this. I've just accepted at this point that like Brazilians just like age differently. Like I don't know
It's true,
what
but
it
like,
is.
holy
Maybe
shit,
it's
bro.
some kind of nutrients they got down in the Amazon or something. Maybe they're eating something different, but like yeah, or they're counting their years on like some Mayan calendar or something. I don't know, but they got 43-year-old fighters that look far better than I do at 27.
Okay, well, for what that's worth, put that in a fucking algorithm. Next fight, we got Blagoy Ivanov, 18-4, taking on Marcos Rogerio de Lima, 19-7-1. This is a big old heavyweight fight. And honestly, I'm kind of pumped. I mean, Blagoy Ivanov, guy was stabbed in the heart like 9 times or whatever the number is, and is still here. Absolute warrior. He fights like that kind of happened to him. He puts it all out there, and he's going to take on a guy who's coming off a KO of Ben Rothwell, beat Maurice Green, 2-1 in his last 3 fights, but sparked Ben Rothwell. So very intrigued to see where this fight goes. I don't know, but here we are. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I kind of am leaning Ivanov. I would sort of think that he would be kind of the favorite, but I wanted to count out to Lima, but he looked pretty good in his last 2 fights. Mo Green and Ben Rothwell, obviously not the top of this division anymore, but like 2 legit fighters that like are gonna give you a tough fight anytime. So
Yeah,
Ivanov's coming in with some kind of confidence that he's gonna run through this dude. Like, I don't see that.
Yeah, I lost a lot of money on that Rothwell loss from the league.
Same.
I wanted Ivanov, but this could be DeLima's. Maybe his little run he's got. It's hard to say.
If
Heavy on it.
If DeLima can keep it standing, I think he's got a very good shot to spark him. But I think what it's going to come down to is the positioning and, the ability to change levels from Blagoy Ivanov. This is going to be the fat difference in this fight. And he's going to be able to take him up and down. And it's just.
I think I just need to know if Ivanov has been training at all. Like, I don't know. I think that it looks in shape and has been training, but Ivanov just looks like I have no clue what you've been doing. Like, have you even been working on this fight, or you just
His
showing?
last fight was 2020. He lost to Augusto Sakai by split. Then before that was 2019. Lost to Derek Lewis by split. Beat Tai Tuivasa and Rothwell. So a bit of experience in the terms of caliber of
He hasn't
opponent here.
fought in
But
2 years.
he hasn't fought since
I
2020.
think I'm leaning to Lima.
He hasn't fought in
I think
like 2 years. Blago Ivanov. Now he was supposed to fight Tybura in 2021. Canceled bout. So
I don't know.
but still
Plus
one fight though.
122 on DeLima.
I don't
And they
know.
give me that juice.
Bro, honestly, I have no clue who's winning this fight. I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna be coming up.
This is a bark once for ask your dog fight. Like bark once for Ivanov, bark
If
twice
no-
for DeLima.
Ivanov shows up, I think he wins it.
Yeah. But we haven't seen that in a
I
long
mean,
time.
what? Like, would it take if he shows up? So, like, if he just enters the arena?
We'll see.
All right.
Next fight.
Next fight, we got Brandon Royval, 13-6, taking on Matt Schnell, 15-6. This is a flyweight fight. I gotta say, honestly, why the fuck is this fight happening?
Why not?
That's a fucking banger of a fight. This is the two squirrels in the bag fight.
Exactly.
I mean, are you guys just gonna say that about every flyweight fight? Like, yo, it's just two squirrels in a bag. Like, come on.
No.
I
I mean, most of it.
This
But yeah, no, these two guys basically, I think it's just like these. It's the scene from this might be a poll, but it's the scene from That's My Boy when Milli Vanilli and when Vanilla Ice and Adam Sandler start fighting in the lobby. Like these two dudes probably just started scrapping in the back, and it's like, hey, nobody's fighting unless the cameras are on, and that's why this fight's happening.
I think the first round's going to be pretty close. Chanel's going to be doing pretty good. We're going to be like, damn, Chanel's actually pretty nice. And then, like, in the second or third, Royval's going to take him out somehow.
Yeah, I just personally like Matt Schnell, but I don't know. It seems like a tough match.
I thought maybe I'm mixing up who Matt Schnell is. I thought this guy came in like 3 fights ago off like promotional circuit guy and was like randomly getting a shot against Royval.
No,
that's why I said, why the fuck is this happening?
No,
then I have the wrong guy in my brain, which that clearly isn't.
Are you thinking
for
Matt
the actual
Favola, maybe?
Matt Schnell? Now, maybe I'm thinking of somebody. Semmelsberger? Is there a Semmelsberger?
Yeah,
something like that. Maybe I'm thinking of him, but I don't know. But damn, I didn't realize he's been in the game since like 2016, or at least in the league. So I totally disrespected this fight, and that changes everything now because I don't know. I was totally out on this. I thought Royval was going to steamroll, but it kind of seems like they fought similar opponents.
And pretty much similar to Royval, but like every Matt Schnell fight, except for the Pantoja knockout, it's just like the last two have just been chaos. The Tyson Nam fight and the Bonjarin fight, like they're just absolute chaos, and that's why we said it was going to be the squirrel.
Royval just brings an energy they have to match. It's like Gaethje, like it's like this person's going to come out so heavy and not stop bouncing around in front of me. I'm going to have to match that to win.
Yeah, and I feel like Schnell's going to be the guy to accept the challenge, but I don't think he can do it for 15. Exactly. That's why I'd probably lean Royval. And
Phoenix Suns currently down to 18.
Yikes.
Oh,
that fucking hurts. That's going to hurt the account.
Yeah. Epic comeback. Don't worry, fellas. Let's get it.
Big comeback.
Next fight. Let's hop in the next one. I don't even care. We got Macy Chase on 7-2 out of the USA, taking on Norma Dumont, 7-1 out of Brazil. This is a female featherweight fight. Y'all got a take on this fight? Because I know where I'm picking.
I have no clue, dude, on this one.
Yeah, I think Norma's going to do it. I think Macy is a good fighter. She's going to be around the division, but Norma's going to be a goddamn problem until she sees some real ranked fighters. I think her jiu-jitsu game's on an absolute another level. Nope.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride Norma Dumont to the wheels fall off. Her last name's my middle name, so yeah, I'm gonna ride that to a T.
Well, let's see what odds we're getting here.
And for no other reason, I don't even remember what she really fights like. I don't remember her fighting style. I just know, oh shit, Norma Dumont, let's go, hammer it. Like,
well, she's coming in as a minus 235 favorite.
Love that.
I do love that she's a favorite. It does scare me a bit that she's going to probably be in a lot of parlays.
8-1, 7-3. I mean, come on.
Yep. Any takes, P?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be Norma Dumont by decision. I think Macy will stay in there, but she's going to get dragged around the cage, pulled in defense.
Yeah.
All that.
I kind of feel like Norma's probably going to have not a lot of trouble controlling her, but one step I would like to see, especially if she is going to be that like lightning prospect that's going to get into the rankings pretty quickly, I'd like to see her dominate, like either find a submission or really dominate those positions, like not just control the fight, but like truly put a stamp on it. But next fight, let's see it.
All right. Next fight, we got Randy Brown, 14-4 out of Jamaica, taking on Chaos Williams, 13-2. This is in the welterweight division.
This is going to be a great fight.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I instantly was like, bro, I think Randy Brown's going to take this. But then after seeing Chaos Williams again, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I have no clue. I don't really want to bet too heavy on this one.
You know what I feel like Chaos Williams is? When like you watching like Red Zone or like you about to put on like, Sunday football or some shit and you just see a dude like swagged out and you're like, yo, my man's about to go off today. Like I'm at him in fantasy right now. Like, yo, we about to start his ass. Like, and then like he kind of hits sometimes and sometimes it don't. And it's just like, well, and so, but I get that exact vibe that P's talking about of like the fight's announced. I'm like, yo, Randy Brown. And then I see Chaos Williams showing up in the suit and looking all fly at the presser doing this. I'm like, yo, swaggy Chaos. Like, he gonna spark him. Like, it's just so I totally get that.
Square off, I was like, ooh, like it's gonna be going good for Brown for a while. But if he just gets it once.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. And it's like, does Randy have the power to just spark him?
Does Randy have the power to gain the respect so Chaos don't just come marching forward until he land that? We always hear DC and Bisping be like, you got to throw something to get some respect here. I think that's going to be the challenge of this fight.
And I think Chaos might get a little bit on his wrestling game and like try to press him against the fence a bit.
Yeah, I think Randy Brown's going to kind of be piecing him up, staying distance, like, and then all of a sudden, if he just closes in, Chaos could just knock him out cold. I could see either one.
Yeah, I'm curious what the odds of not going the distance. It can't be great. Chaos is actually a slight favorite, minus 125. Randy Brown plus 101.
Oh, wow.
Fight to not go the distance, only minus 167. So, I don't know. I could see it where, like, they use a lot of that power in the first round and it makes it out. And then those hands kind of slow down a bit. But we'll
I don't know. I kind of think Chaos is going to find his way. I think Chaos is just going to.
We'll see. Chaos by finish is plus 160.
I'm about to take that. Now, next fight that I know I'm not going to touch. We got Andre Fialho, 15-4 out of Portugal, taking on Cameron Van Camp, 15-5-1 out of the USA. The reason I'm not going to touch this fight is because I feel like I don't know who either fighter is. And I saw earlier that somebody is heavily favored. And let's play the guessing game of who's heavily favored.
It should be Andre.
I was going to say, Fialho I've heard of. So it should be him, right?
Yep. He's heavily favored now.
I believe so.
And that's why I'm not going to touch this fight.
Yeah, I think this is the Pee Wee getting food fight.
No, I think it's gonna be. Man,
Oh, he did just spark Miguel Baeza, though. This Fiallo cat. And Van Camp's coming in B2 fighting series. Oh, boy. In the Ultimate Combat League.
I don't know. Van Camp plus 295 is kind of juicy.
I don't know. I feel like Diajo's fought like twice this year already,
Yeah.
and he got close to beating Pereira.
Shit, he has fought. He fought like a month ago.
Yeah, so I'm like, this dude's hungry. He's trying to get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's a minus 400 for.
Yo, this dude had 4 fights outside of the UFC in 2021. That's actually pretty impressive.
I like that.
To be honest, because like COVID year still, like, not every promotion rolling, like to get 4 fights in a year, that's actually like doggish.
Van Camp did? Or
No.
Fiallo did?
Fiallo did.
Yeah.
He started it by knocking out James Vick.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that brings us right up to the main card and a couple guys who are in James Vick's era.
First fight on the main card, we got Donald Cowboy Cerrone, 36-16, taking on Joe Lozon, 28-15. This is a lightweight fight. Is this 2 Hall of Famers fighting each other?
Got it.
Probably.
For the era.
Right? They're in like the pioneer wing.
Definitely.
All right.
I'm glad that Donald Cerrone's not the old guy in a fight for once.
Yeah. And I
Feels
think
good.
that's gonna help him. I think he's gonna whoop Joe's ass on the feet, to be honest.
I kind of agree, but I don't want to. And I'm going to be honest, this is actually the fight that I kind of wish we were going to it. In Phoenix, I want to see Joe fight one more time. Boston guy, like he was really the first one to put like Boston MMA on the map. He's pretty much raised almost not every fighter, but a large majority of any fighters that have come out of Massachusetts have in one way been, influenced by Joe Lozon. So
Yeah, it's like 6 degrees of Joe Lozon in fucking Boston.
Exactly. Like somehow he's probably one of our cousins. Like that's our guy. So I got to ride for Joe Lozon. I will be betting him. I don't know if that's smart. I don't know the odds, but I'll probably only have one more time. Or I'm kind of hoping I only have one more time to actually do it.
That's big time 3 for the Suns.
Okay, Suns only down 12.
2.5 to go. You make this under 10 in the fourth quarter.
It's a big last 2 minutes here.
All right. Anyways, next fight. Did that just get overshadowed by a meaningless 3 in the fucking third quarter?
That I'm going to be getting on Joe Lozon. Plus 151. I'll take it. Next fight. Much younger.
These are 2 back-to-back fights that are legends. We got Oben St. Pro, 25-16, taking on Mauricio Shogun Hua, 27-12-1. This is in what, the light heavyweight division? I mean, I don't know, but like, sure, sign me up. I'm down.
Division.
What?
The light geriatric division.
This is...
Yeah, I don't understand why they're fighting. I mean, I guess if they're both fighting, they might as well fight each other.
Sure, yeah, exactly. It was probably one of those that like
that's the
both
take
of them
right
were just
there.
like, yo, I got one
That's
fight
the
left
take.
in my contract, and they were like, wait, what? You do? And
Now
he was
Shogun
like,
came out
"Yes."
recently and he's like, yo, I want this and then like one more for my retirement. That's it.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because the thing is, everyone wants to go out like on top with like a ceremony and the dubs, and like once you lose, it's like, oh, I gotta get the win before I head out. And then once you get the win, it's like, well, I just won, so I gotta fight the next contender. It's just these guys just can't get out of that cycle, bro. These last 4 fighters are completely stuck in that cycle. They should all be out of this sport, but they all want to go out with the dubs. And say Joe Lozon loses, he's gonna be like, dude, give me the next fucking guy. I want to go out on top in the Boston card in September. Like, it's a terrible cycle that they just can't get out of.
I know. It's almost like
For all the 4 of these, even Open St. Pro to an
Like-
extent, like, dude, stop.
I
What are
don't
you
even
doing?
know what it would be, but like we need to figure out the big 3 league equivalent for the UFC, where like these retired dudes that still want to like get some shots up.
Isn't
like-
that bare knuckle?
No, but like let's give them more
Yeah,
padding, not less.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's what I thought. We already had one, but it's bare knuckle.
pretty much. But that's like the sad.
They should
broken
just
down,
fight 3. There should just be a
retirement
division
comp.
that's 3 1-minute rounds, and it's just like that's what it is.
It's just rough and rowdy, but
Yeah.
for old professional fighters.
Correct.
I'm in for that. I'd probably be way more hyped for this fight if it was 3 1-minute rounds. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That would be fucking lit.
Yo, I'd be so hyped if this is 3 1-minute rounds. Even if
Shogun
it's
would just come out throwing bombs.
1-minute rounds would be fucking electric too.
Yeah, Shogun would come out throwing fucking 3 bombs, miss, get taken down, and get thrown into some submission
Von
that
Fucho.
I can't name.
Von Prucho.
Exactly. All
Yikes,
right.
The odds on
we didn't even talk the odds.
Shogun's a plus 200 underdog. OSP is a minus 265. Sounds about right.
it. Yeah.
Like OSP's fought in
Really?
this decade.
But like Shogun, like in the last couple years, I feel like has like stopped some of these guys. It's like, oh, minus 200, like he's got to beat Shogun, and then like boop boop bing, and it's like, oh, Shogun.
Shogun hasn't stopped anyone since UFC won the video game.
No, he stopped Tyson Pedro in 2018.
Okay, 4 years.
Yeah.
Never mind. A draw, a win, a loss. Like he's
and
done everything since
Nogueira
then.
in 2020, yeah, I guess.
Did he ever fight? Oh, he already fought OSP and he lost in 2014. This is a rematch. I was gonna say, as I was thinking it, I'm so stupid. These idiots have been around the game for forever.
Of course they
They fought each other.
Right.
Duh.
8 years ago.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move 2 guys that are a little closer to their primes.
All right, we got Michael Chandler, 22-7, taking on Tony Ferguson, 25-6. This is in the lightweight division. Woo! What do we got?
I don't want either of them to lose,
Nah.
but I think this fight's built for Chandler.
Kind of. See,
Like, I don't see a world where I think Tony's gonna put up a good fight. He's gonna be like, he's gonna hopefully show us like, oh, he's still got it. But I just feel like Chandler's gonna be too much.
I sort of agree with you. The thing that pisses me off about Chandler at this point, I don't know if there's anyone out there that like properly ranks him. Maybe I actually will give some credit. P actually ranks him pretty like on point. But everyone on Twitter is either like demanding a title shot for this man at every moment or saying he should be like cut from the UFC's Bellator trash. Like, it pisses me off. It's like, yeah, he's a solid, like, definite top 10, maybe top 5 guy, like, maybe a title contender on the right run, but like
I think he's neck and neck with. We just saw. I mean, Gaethje was ahead of him, but I think he's in the same level as Gaethje, Poirier. A lot of these guys in the top
exactly.
5.
He's like definitely in that mix, but it's like I feel like everyone is either all over his nuts or it says he's absolute trash.
I just like him because he's been active too. Like he came in here from Bellator and was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm just gonna take any opportunity. Like, let's go."
Correct. I respect the fuck out of him going to Dana and being like, yo, if I come, I want to sink or swim, feed me to the wolves. And that's why it took him a while to even come here. Because they were like, yo, you can come, but we'll give you this guy. But it's not. I like how he's staying active and getting top level fights. I respect the fuck out of
the
it.
top 5 fighters never fight each other in the division, but he's just been trying to fight. He's just been taking fights with all of them, trying to get back at the belt.
Yeah, no,
Which
definitely
was
give some respect
Almost
to that.
had.
But in a weird way, kind of like you were saying, P, that's all I've been seeing all over Twitter is like, this fight's perfect for Chandler. He's going to beat the shit out of Tony, which I could just be eating the poison, but like a weird part of me thinks, and it could be that deep sell Tony Ferguson Twitter getting.
You hear that? You hear Tony Ferguson?
I kind of think Tony might just like have something weird for us.
You hear him at the presser? He went off on the whole UFC. He went off on everybody. He was calling out fighter pay and how he wants to do other things and how he's been treated like shit. And I don't know. I think there's something to it. He's like, I'm just doing this for me now. Like, fuck all y'all. Like,
yeah,
there's a part of me that thinks he's taking too much damage.
That's why I don't want either of them to lose. Like, I always want Tony to be like a force in that division, but I don't know. I see him submitting Chandler. Chandler couldn't get wasn't even in trouble with what's his name.
Oliveira.
Yeah.
I don't see him submitted. I could see him getting busted up for sure.
This fight is kind of giving me vibes of how Volkanovski versus Korean Zombie played out. Like, I kind of think it could be a similar thing. Not maybe to that level, but to a point where it's just like, yo, this guy is just outboxing him. Like, yo, ref, stop the fight, dude. Like, he's just pounding. And, like, we're just getting unanswered strikes. It's just not his night. Like, it just move on. Like, that's just kind of how I think this fight's going to go. Competitive early, but Chandler just dominates after, like, 3 minutes.
Yeah, I could see Chandler, like, for some reason finishing it early.
Yeah, I kind of like. I agree. He should.
And Tony doesn't get finished like that, so that's a weird thing to say. Like, yeah, he's gonna
exactly.
He never.
It's like
I
don't know if it's just my dumb brain. Like, just keep. But I'm never the guy who's like, oh, Tony's back, and I'm not like I like Tony, but I'm not like a Tony Ferguson fan. You know, I like him, but I've never been a huge fan of his. And I'm usually betting against him. And I have a weird feeling here. Like, he's a massive underdog, plus 295. Like, I don't know. Maybe this training camp worked.
I wouldn't be mad.
This guy hasn't won a round in 3 years. So that's why he's plus 295. But,
switch it up.
I kind of like Mike Chandler could finish it early, but I kind of also think it's going to be like, all right, competitive first round, and then Chandler takes over, and we stop this early, late round 2.
I can see it.
All right, but let's hop into another rematch. We got a rematch years in the making here as well. We got Rose Namajunas, 11-4, the UFC female strawweight champion of the world. She is taking on Carla Esparza, this time in different roles, 18-6 out of the USA. This is a great fight. What are we thinking?
Man, I think Rose gonna dance around her and win more rounds. I think maybe there'll be a round, maybe 2, where Carla gets it to the ground, then Rose eventually gets back up. But it'll just be kind of smooth sailing on the feet for Rose.
I was gonna say, I think Rose has taken her game to an absolute other level. And I think it's going to be something. It's going to take something very special to take that belt off of her. And no disrespect to Carla Esparza, I think she deserves this title shot. She's gotten there. She's had a great ground game. Her hands have looked better in the last few fights, so I think she's going to be able to at least like make a couple of those exchanges exciting. But I think Rose is going to pretty much dominate this fight. And even if it's close, it's just not going to be enough to take the belt off her. No?
This fight intrigues me a lot because people are like, yo, this new and improved. Esparza is different. But I kind of feel like it's not really new and improved. It's more just refined of some old stuff. It's more just the same old wrestling, but it's just a little bit cleaner and better. Does that make any difference in this fight? Maybe. She won the first one by rear naked choke. So can she get Rose to the ground? Then it's in her world. Advantage Carla Esparza. I kind of like that, but that's a big question mark here. We've seen how good and improved Rose Namajunas is at takedown defense. We've seen how great her footwork is. So it's not going to be easy to get her down. I'm kind of confused on this fight, to be honest. Because, like, people are saying that she's so new and improved, but I just don't see it that way. It just seems like she's just doing what she did before, just at a little bit of a higher level, and it's enough to get this win streak. Like, but is that championship? I don't know.
Well, and they've just been fighting different levels. Like, she's been scrapping her way up to this point, and then Rose has been fighting just basically Whaley, what's her name?
Joanna.
Andrade and Joanna. Like,
Yeah.
As Rose has been fighting kind of people just trying to climb back up. So they've been on levels. Rose has been in title fights, big deals in the lights. This will be Carlos' first time in a minute instead of like a 5-rounder or anything like that.
Although I do kind of think, like, if Esparza is to have some success, it's probably going to come in rounds like 4 and 5, wrestling and like dominating those rounds and just racking them in the bank. Yeah, that's kind of the only way I see her winning, though.
Unless Rose had a bad camp, like,
good luck.
That motor did not look any different in rounds.
No, and I get it. Trust me, I'm not saying it's an easy task. I just think, like, that's got to be some part of the camp. Like, rounds 4 and 5, the wrestling got to be super on point when the people are more tight.
Like, you got to try to steal around her.
Correct.
And then,
like, if you're in the camp of Esparza, you're hoping, like, you get, like, 4 or 5 and 2 or something, just as an example.
Right. Get a takedown early, hope you can just steal around with control.
Yeah.
And then, you have to dominate.
I think Rose is going to win by knockout, or Esparza wins by decision.
I could see Rose even getting a decision, honestly. Like, just pointing her up. But I could see Rose really trying to make a statement.
Weirdly, I don't think it's going to be competitive. I think now that I'm thinking about this, I think whoever's in their world is just going to be in their world to an elite level. It's not going to matter. Either Esparza is just going to dominate, or
I don't
Rose
think
is
Esparza is going to be able to just hold her on the ground. I really don't think. She could probably get her there, but I don't think she's just going to be able to just hold her for like a full round.
And I think Esparza is going to try to go throw the hands at first for a while. So maybe we'll never know. Maybe after she doesn't like that, she's only going to be trying for takedowns from then on.
Right. Change up the game plan. But I'm still riding with Rose. Give me the champ. She's only a minus 225 favorite. So I thought I was going to have to pay even more juice on that. So give me the champ. Next fight. Talked a little bit about it earlier, but let's do it. The main event.
We got Charles Oliveira, 32-8, taking on Justin Gaethje, 23-3, for a fight that maybe kind of is the lightweight championship of the world. Gaethje can win it. Oliveira cannot. Who's winning this fight? What do we got?
Bro, I don't know why. Maybe I'm been fed into it, but I got to go with Gaethje. At first, I was like, I shouldn't bet this fight because I'm just going to bet on him because I like him more in this. But then I kept watching. I'm like, dude, he's having a hell of a good camp. He's been fucking eating healthy since his last fight. He's had a chef that's been making his food, just getting ready for this. And then Oliveira comes in and he can't even make the weight. Maybe he's just been living the champ life too hard. I'm going Gaethje.
That's kind of where I was at, and I sort of flip-flopped a little bit, but I think I landed on Gaethje because kind of the same thing. Like, and I've been riding the Oliveira train. Like, when he became champ, a lot of people were doubting him, and I was like, I think he carries himself as a champion, but I do think that, like, part of his game was that hunger and that just, like, absolute drive. And that's what got him to be this massive 155er that could make 155 because he was that hungry and everything was about the camp and getting to that belt. So, yeah, maybe, like you said, that champ life, that one extra vacation, that one extra photo shoot is just that little bit. That's that half a pound, and in this type of fight with this high level of a guy like Gaethje, who's gonna, is gonna bring an absolute war to you. Like, is that half a pound? Is that half a training session? Is that
there's all too much into this shit. Oliveira's going to use some teep kicks and some leg kicks to the body to slow down Gaethje. Come round 3.
Rip leg kicks.
Come round 3, it's going to hit the floor somehow. And guillotine, night submission, round 3. Oliveira walks. He fights McGregor at 160 in the Cruiserweight World Championship that gets announced. The vacant belt for lightweight is still there. And Islam fights Gaethje for the vacant lightweight title. And that's that, fellas. But in all reality for this fight, I do think that Oliveira's I saw it in the fight against Poirier. I thought he used that front teep kick to the body beautifully and really kind of like slowed him down and didn't make DP the same old like come forward in your face DP.
Right.
So if he can do that to Gaethje, I like his chances a lot. Now it's a bigger task in my opinion because you have to worry about his leg kicks, and so then it gets tricky. But I do think it's going to be hella competitive. I just kind of lean
you throw
that round like 3 or 4.
He's going to sweep that back. Left.
Correct. I just think rounds 3 or 4, Oliveira by sub is the lock here.
If Gaethje goes up there and shows him no respect, I think he knocks him out in the first round.
Just no regard for human life, Gaethje.
Just like boom, and just like walks off.
Don't care about the ground. Don't anything. Just go. Let him
not
lose.
Scared of the takedown. Not scared of the leg kicks. Just Gaethje train.
No feeling out process. Just run straight forward. Just like bam.
Honestly, I could definitely see that, especially like Gaethje, like knowing the kind of guy he is. He's like, I got my opportunity. I've been waiting so goddamn long for this. Like, just go. Just kill. Like, I hope so.
He's going to be the hometown favorite in this fight for sure.
I really would love to see him win a belt in Arizona.
From Yuma.
That would be fucking
So
awesome.
shout out AZ. He's putting it on the map. I don't know if he can get it done. It's such a tough task at Chucky Olive's all-time nickname, by the way. But Oliveira, the leader in finishes all-time for the UFC, legendary fighter. He's probably on track to be a Hall of Famer. So this just puts a little... What up?
But he's coming off a rough weight cut, and he's probably pissed about.
Yeah, and he's kind of been dragged through the mud, and now people are going to forget that he's won 13 straight fights. I mean, someone said it perfectly on Twitter earlier. It was like Charles Oliveira went from fucking how can you hate this guy to this guy's a shitbag with 0.5 of a pound.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
a tough look.
But
I will say, it is
like,
something that, especially if I am trying to find a way for Gaethje to win this, is a pissed off Oliveira. Now he's going to maybe be more willing to go into those firefights to kind of, brawl a bit with Gaethje.
And Gaethje's with that. He's like, yeah.
He's with that. And especially like he put the hands on Chandler. So like he might have a little more confidence. I mean, not that he has, piss poor hands, but I wouldn't want to brawl with Gaethje.
No, and I think Gaethje will even take one maybe, but then I don't know if they go shot for shot. I would take Gaethje's chin over Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say,
but I think Charles
it's the variety in the shots
first. That's the scary thing.
But Gaethje mixed it up well with them leg kicks too, but he got to get on that. I feel like last fight he was just boxing, same against Tony. I don't know.
Well, I think since Oliveira is such a high Muay Thai stand, he's going to rip the shit out of his legs.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, all right. We got anything else before we watch the Suns blow this in the fourth quarter and fucking get pumped?
No, hopefully let's watch Chris Paul get 12 straight buckets and a great comeback by the Suns.
All right, we ain't got shit else. We out. Let's get it.